New report out saying that insiders are saying it is disgusting. Michelle Obama has blown a whopping $10 million in taxpayer money on ritzy vacations in the past year alone. An inside White House source told the Inquirer it's disgusting. They said Michelle is taking advantage of her privileged position while most hardworking Americans can barely afford a week or two off work. And when they added up, she spent more than $10 million in taxpayer money on her vacations. The insiders are saying that President Obama is absolutely furious at Michelle's luxurious leisure lifestyle, but can't curb her out-of-control spending, which includes wild shopping sprees, costly massages, and her expensive taste in booze. The Obamas do pay for some of Michelle's personal expenses and travel, but according to a report on the website WhiteHouseDossier.com, quote, the amount is dwarfed by the overall cost to the public. Okay, you know the cost, right? Some columnists have called her a modern-day Marie Antoinette for vacationing while the American economy hemorrhages jobs. The vacations are totally Michelle's idea. She's like a junkie. She can't schedule enough getaways, and she lives from one to the next, all the while sticking it to hardworking Americans. So I raise this question. Would you say that their behavior has advanced the image of minorities in the eyes of, let us say, Caucasian America? Or has the opposite occurred because of their behavior? And has their behavior, let's put his policies aside, just the man's behavior, her behavior, has it advanced or set back race relations in America? These are important questions. Apparently she's entitled to a vacation, but this is at a level that nobody could believe is going on. 42 days of holiday in the past year, including a $375,000 break in Spain. 4-day ski trip to Vail, Colorado, where she spent $2,000 a night on a suite at the Sebastian Hotel. Now, what is shocking is that when they went to Martha's Vineyard, certainly not a playground for the poor. Martha's Vineyard is not a playground for the poor. The fact of the matter is they took a vacation. But the way they took the vacation sparked further anger after he and Michelle elected to fly separately to the Massachusetts retreat, even though they traveled on the same day, which raises certain questions, by the way. Obama left the White House aboard Marine One on his way to Andrews Air Force Base and then grabbed a lift aboard Air Force One for a few hundred miles with his dog, landed at Cape Cod Coast Guard Air Station, then took another helicopter to his holiday destination to complete a 500-mile trip. His wife and his daughters, who arrived just 4 hours earlier, were also traveling from Washington, but took a specially designed military aircraft. They then had their own motorcade from the airport to the vacation residence. First Lady of Luxury Travel. Highlights from the Obamas' lavish getaways over the past 12 months. Girls' trip to Spain, August 2010. Total cost unknown. Very, very expensive. However, the exact cost being unclear, Michelle took 40 of her friends with her. 40 of her friends went with her. The U.S. taxpayer would have paid for the First Lady's 68-man security detail, personal staff, and use of Presidential Jet Air Force Two. Per diems for the Secret Service team runs at about $281 each, nearly $98,000 for the length of the summer break. Use of Air Force Two, the Air Force version of a 757, comes in $149,000 for the round trip. Christmas break in Hawaii, December 2010. According to the Hawaii Reporter, bill for the $1.5 million trip included. Ski trip to Vail, February 2011. Stayed at the Sebastian Hotel on Vail Mountain, where rooms cost more than $2,400 for multi-bedroom suites. The family flew there on Air Force Two. Summer holiday on Martha's Vineyard, August 2011, the Blue Heron Farm. Rents for $50,000 a week. According to U.S. News and World Report, the Coast Guard is required to keep ships floating near the property. The presidential helicopter and jet remain at the ready, and security agents will be on 24-hour duty. I would think that even though he's a communist, if he took over the White House, however it happened, he could have led by example. He could have shown a certain restraint in extravagant behavior, in who he associates with, in how many times he golfs, in how many times she goes on vacation, and how many times she stuffs her face with ice cream and fatty foods while lecturing you to grow a carrot in your backyard. I mean, let's be clear here. You know, the king has no clothing. Anybody would advise him, if he had a decent advisor left who was not afraid to say the truth, stay home, go to Camp David. Show people that you care about them. Show them that you feel what's going on in the country. But apparently he doesn't give a rat's behind less. He can care less about America. What about the fact that her mother lives in the White House? I keep raising that with people that I know, a few people I know in the media. It's underreported or almost not reported. They have a mother-in-law living in the White House, Mrs. Robinson, of all names, Michelle's mother, who is allegedly one of the president's closest advisors. How do you feel about a mother-in-law squatting in the White House?
Let me tell you something. For the first time in my adult lifetime, I'm really proud of my country. And not just because Barack has done well, but because I think people are hungry for change. And I have been desperate to see our country moving in that direction and just not feeling so alone in my frustration and disappointment.
Now she has it, so what has she done with it? Why, she's ripped off the country.